My name is Yaron. I'm the co-music director for the Center for Spiritual Living, and I would love to start this morning with a song for you guys. If I can reach the sky, I'd put one down for you. I'd send it on my heart so you can see the truth. And the love at my side is everything it seems. But for now I find it's only in my dreams that I can change the world. I will be the sunlight in your universe. You will think my love was really something good, baby, if I could change the world. If I could be a king, even for a day, I'll take you as my queen. I have no other way. And I'll love rule in this kingdom we made till not a fool, wishing for the day that I can change the world. I will be the sunlight in your universe. You will think my love was really something good, baby, if I could change the world, baby, if I could change the world, baby, if I could change the world. Let's change the world.
Let's change the world. Let's begin today. Good morning, Yaron.
Morning, Keith. How are you?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles Sunday morning celebration service. We come together every Sunday morning to do our part to not only change our own individual world, but to change the world. And we do that through knowing who we are as divine beings. So I welcome you on this Father's Day in the year 2020 to our Sunday celebration service online. And I look forward to being with you energetically together as a community, whether you're joining us through Zoom and or through Facebook or through our website. I want to welcome you. I'd also like to introduce you in this very moment to our guest musician today, Amy Steinberg. We're so happy to have her with us. Hello, Amy.
Hi, Rev Keith. It's a blessing and an honor to be with you and your community today. Happy Father's Day. I know you're a fur baby person, so.
Yeah, and I also have a soul son. So I do. So yes, it's a big day today. So I'm really happy to have that. So we look forward to seeing you again later in the service, Amy. So um,
I love
as you
you.
hail from North Carolina, we will see you in a moment. So thank you for being here. Also, you've met Yaron Spiwak just a moment ago, who is our co-music director, who sang us into our service, as well as I want to welcome each and every one of you. And just a little instruction on how we do this. And so if you'll just keep your cameras turned off until I invite you to turn them on, that way we will make sure we're giving a clean stream, if you will, through our technology today. And so I'd like for us all to just take a moment and connect with each other from that perspective energetically, as well as turn your cameras off and be familiar with that process. Our service this morning is one where we will learn a bit about the metaphysics of the science of mind, which is what we teach and practice here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. We've been around for 30 years as a community here, a little over 30 years, and I'm really happy to share with you who and what we are. We're a metaphysical based community, as I said before, and we teach metaphysics with the primary focus on the teachings of the science of mind. What this means is that we teach a philosophy and a faith and a way of life whose principles are that there's only one thing taking place in the universe. Call it God, call it the thing itself, call it life. Its qualities are peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. And that you and I each individualize this power, and that we practice it consciously through the use of our mind, our thoughts, our being, our actions, our reactions, and our interactions with life itself. I'm sure we've all heard that age-old statement of change your thinking and change your life. That's the very basic foundational component of our teaching, while also understanding that we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law. And as a result of that, we experience in form or in manifestation or life itself a reflection of what we know ourselves to be and the consciousness or the state of mind that we own. And so as a community, we're here to support each and every one of us having a life as full as possible. And we do that by engaging our vision for ourselves in all aspects of humanity, which is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. I invite you to take a deep breath in and hear that again. We support individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. And so today, as we spend this time together doing just that, I welcome you, and on behalf of our founding minister, Dr. David Walker, and in many ways, as I've spoken of before, was like a father to me. We welcome one and we welcome all. So we open this service as we continue this morning with a ritual. It's called Calling in the Light. And as I stated a moment ago, light is considered one of the qualities of the divine that exists within you and within me. And so as we call in this light, we're not literally calling the light into us, but what we're doing is we're calling into ourselves an awakening of the light that already exists, a reminder that it's there. And in so doing, creating a consciousness that is reflective of this light. Light in its natural sense is an illuminer. It's an illuminator, if you will. And so in the context of metaphysics, you and I not only light this light within ourselves through our awakening and our awareness, but as we choose to radiate that, not only does it illuminate the pathway for ourselves, but the pathway for others as well. So this ritual today, as we light this candle, will move into a song, an affirmation, as well. I'll ask you to sing along the song. We'll do that with your microphones turned off. Your own will guide us through it. It's called Let There Be Peace on Earth. And after that, I will do what we do in our faith known as an affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment. And so I invite you to close your eyes and get centered in this moment. Envision yourself lighting the light within. And then remembering that this light came from the great Father, the great I am, the source of all light. And let's express gratitude to that power. As well, we move into the next dimension of expressing gratitude to our own personal Father for being the conduit for the creation of life that exists within us. And so as we light this candle, lighting the flames of faith today, I will call out different religions and faiths of the world. And as I do so, I invite you to bring forth into your mind's eye a father that represents this faith. And so today we light this candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium. It is that which is known as the natural way. We light this candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. And we light this candle today for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light this candle today for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light this candle today for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. Today we light this candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. And we light this candle today for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And we light this candle today for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. And we light this candle today for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And we light this candle today, also declaring and calling it the healing candle. And I ask you to take a moment and think of someone that you would like to silently put into the light of the healing flame, which may include yourself, so that all may experience the eternal and everlasting love of the divine. Let's do that for our Father as well, whether they're on this earth still or elsewhere. And so let's know that it is time for peace on earth, as Yaron guides us through this song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, where God is creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And so we each affirm and declare right now that there is peace on earth, and it has indeed begun with me. The me that is the each one of us. And so as we anchor in this power and this presence that is the divine, we do so today with a deep sense of gratitude for the opportunity to be the peace, the power, the presence of life itself. So yes, we are not only letting there be peace on earth, we are letting it begin with me right now. And so it is.
So it is.
So as I said earlier, I'm so very happy to introduce to you this morning, who I already have introduced, our guest musician, Amy Steinberg. Amy is hailing to us this morning from North Carolina, where she moved in the last year or so, having spent some time in Southern California. And Amy's a gem and a charm and a wonderful musician. So I'm so happy to bring her back to the video this morning and have her share her talent with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Steinberg.
Thanks, Rev Keith. I wrote this song for my dad before he passed. And the song, the essence of the song is that my dad always made me feel special and made me feel like I could do anything. And I just want to give you the memory of my dad right now. If you especially didn't have what I called him daddy, you know, if you didn't have a daddy like that, you can borrow mine for the song and listen to the story of our relationship and how he affected me. And happy Father's Day to everybody out there. When you came through that door, after you worked and slaved, if I wasn't in trouble with Mom, it was the highlight of my day. But if I was in trouble, you were the one to discipline. You would grit your teeth, speak sternly, but you never actually did a thing. Father, you ruled with an iron heart, with a hopeful and a knowing side. You never were good at grounding me. That is why I fly, Father, I fly. Father, I fly, yeah. And as the years tick by, my dreams have changed, yeah. And maybe I'm not who I thought I'd be, who we all thought I'd be. Someday, someday. But you'd still show up with your biggest fan grin and your Amy Steinberg t-shirt on. Every gig, he would come every gig with Amy Steinberg. It's amazing. He would say, saying, keep playing, keep plugging was schooled with an outstretched arm, with a hopeful and a knowing smile. You always told me, only time you lose is when you quit playing the game. That is why I try. That is why I keep on trying. Yeah. That is why. That is why, Father, I fight. Oh, Father, I fly. Yeah. And now, Father, you fly. Father, you fly. Father, you fly.
Oh, thank you, Amy. So beautiful. Yes, and off he goes flying, and off she goes as she turned her camera off. So thank you, Amy, and the paintings are beautiful behind you. I know that you did them. So what a joy and a privilege to have you here with us today. So
I didn't mean to disappear on you.
I know you clicked that camera off too
I'm
fast.
trying to, I'm like trying to, do everything right,
I know.
you know.
Hey, we're all learning on the we're all learning on the fly, so to speak. I know. I was just texting with Robert that in the middle of all of that, my screen disappeared, my mic went blank. Fortunately, I had another computer when I was praying and all that. So it's all part of the journey. Remember, our vision statement is to support individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. So as we magnify all this technology, let's all remember to have that spiritual awakening and become personally self-empowered on this journey. Well, you know that you're a piece of my heart. I've known you for many years, and I love you greatly, and I'm so happy you're here with us today. So
Thanks
I
for
look
having
forward
me.
to having you come back with us after my message this morning and sing another song and share your talent. The chat window's blowing up telling you how much that touched people's hearts. So I
Oh,
just want you
good,
to know
good.
that. So
I have to open that up.
that's okay. Well, now it's time to go. So stay focused on the camera turning off. Love you. So
With
till
it.
later. All right. Till later. I fly. I fly, and now you fly. I know that that song has such meaning, not only for Amy, but for all of us during these most unique times that we're living in. The message that I have for us today is to remember to fly and to remember that we are here to be conscious and conscientious of how we live our life. We're still in the month of June, hard to believe that we're 3 Sundays in. And so much has transpired over the last 3 weeks in our world. I remind us all that the theme for this month is pride, a way of life. Right now, I'd like to recap a bit of what we've looked at just so far this month. In the first week of this month, we looked at standing up and protesting and why that matters and making our voice heard in the world to be a conscious participant in the evolutionary process that is taking place in the world today, to not only acknowledge the Black Lives Matter movement, to be a conscious participant in it, remembering all of the protests that have taken place on the soil of the United States of America and around the world that has been a reason for good to be made manifest. And we're continually being called for that to happen today, not only on our own soil, but around the world. And knowing that what has transpired in this world in the last week relative to more young men of color losing their life, to the police brutality that is unfolding, to Juneteenth being acknowledged and also being disrespected, as well as what transpired yesterday in Tulsa and beyond, that it's important for us to remember that we have the right and the responsibility to stand up and to make our voices heard, to be a living legacy to those that came before us, many of whom are fathers, and to stand up and to protest for the injustices and for the wrongs that have taken place in this world. Last week, we looked at how the gay rights movement came into being with a deep sense of gratitude for Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera and many others, which led us to an understanding and a reminder that at the end of the day, it's power to the people. As people, we are here to choose and to use our power in a way that is making a difference on this planet in our own unique and special and individualized way, because we're all a piece of this mosaic known as humanity. And because we're all conscious beings and aware of our consciousness, that we all know deep within us that not only do we know what's unfolding in today's world, but that we have the ability and the potential to make a difference. That this spectrum of humanity that looks in a myriad of different ways, and it's supposed to be that are attracted to people in different ways, and it's meant to be that, is all a reflection of the people, the unique people of our planet coming together to raise their voices, to raise their fist in solidarity, to take care of those that can't take care of themselves, to create this revolution that can only be a result of evolution. And this is true for the men that have fought on our soil and beyond as fathers this day, who so often did what they thought they were supposed to do to indeed make the world a better place. So today, here we are, June 21st in the year 2020, Father's Day. And so I want to say happy Father's Day to any of you out there today that are our fathers, and a happy Father's Day to all of you who have or have had fathers. I invite you right now to place your father's face in this picture frame on the screen right now that says Dad's face here. And to take a moment and to acknowledge this being in your life, whether he was an active participant in your life or not, but to remember that we are a result of the physical aspect of the father and the mother. And just as I spoke of on Mother's Day, for us to remember that we're all inextricably connected. And this is no more so than in looking at it from the perspective of our fathers. This Bible quote tells us this, that I and my Father are one, which is speaking primarily to the Father, the great Father, the source of all life. But I also want us to remember today that yes, we are interconnected and we are one with the one itself, but we're also one with the one from whose seed we came. And that all men that are fathers, no matter who they are, what generation they are in the line, the hierarchy of their family, what religious orientation or what sexual orientation, or whether they're single fathers or African American fathers or from the Middle East or from anywhere or everywhere around the world, that so often these fathers did what they believe was the right thing to do to propagate good for their children to the best of their ability. And let's all choose today to say thank you to them. For I know personally in the role I play as a father, there are moments that it's not so easy. In the world today, we are told that there are 10 traits of a great father. They are these. One who teaches his children to appreciate things. A great father is one who's open-minded. He accepts his kids not exactly like that his kids are not exactly like him. He spends quality time with his children. He leads by example. He is supportive and loyal. He challenges his children. He teaches his children lessons. He protects his family no matter what. And he shows unconditional love. Now, those are 10 traits that are wonderful of a great father, and fantastic if indeed the father lived up to that. In many ways, this is setting the bar so high for the perfect or ideal father. And I know that many of us have had wonderful fathers, and many of us have fathers that may not have been so wonderful. We set the bar, as I said, very high to know that any man can be a father, but it takes a special guy to be a dad. In researching for today, this has been stated in a multitude of ways, even stated that any man can be a dad, but it takes someone special to be a father. Today, I want us to look at our fathers from a different perspective and understand that, yes, on this day and many others, the optimum goal is for dad to have been a super dad, to be the best dad in the world, but to remember that he so often was a dad or a father relative to how he had been fathered. And his father, had been fathered relative to how his father had been fathered. I love this little story because I think it speaks to the nature of a father awakening himself to a greater way to father. It's called The Spirituality of Fatherhood, Gentleness. I picked up my 3-day-old daughter from her bassinet, but I couldn't make her stop screeching. I bounced, rocked, and swayed. 20 squats later, I began to question my competency as a parent. One of our visitors noticed my panic, disguised my confidence, and asked me to hand her over. In an attempt to reassure me, she observed, "Maybe you're not soft enough." Wait, was that supposed to be a compliment? For a time, I assumed that I was biologically ill-equipped for gentleness. My daughter latched onto her mother's body for sustenance, rendering me glorified waitstaff. I'm also prone to anger. I lose my temper and find when it's too late, I can play too rough and throw the kids too high in the air. But the first time, my beard stubble gave my daughter goosebumps. I knew that gentleness and strength could be complementary. What a great story to share with us the evolution of parenting for this particular individual in a very short period of time. But I want us to all take a moment and realize that all parenting is a result of evolution. Remembering that evolution is a progression, it's a process. In researching, as I said before today, I came upon many wonderful things, and one was to remember that parenting of today, yes, is most unique and different, certainly from old school parenting methods. I came across this ad from the late 1900s looking at ways to take care of children in an old school parenting method. If you look at it, it says fresh air for the babies is as essential as proper food. And it shows where at one time parents put their children in this little screened crib so the baby can sleep out of doors safe from harm. In this pen, the baby can amuse himself and his mother need feel no anxiety about him. For it shows a baby laying in a little cart is actually the wrong way for a baby to get fresh air. Now, of course, today we wouldn't think of that in any logical, sane way. The evolution of parenting. If you were a child just as recently or as a parent in the 1960s, this photo shows of a parent and their child flying high in the air in a Snow King chairlift in 1965 in Jackson, Wyoming. I'm sure many of you can remember riding in the back of a station wagon crammed like you're in a tuna fish can. Or, speaking of cans, possibly allowing the child to sip on mama's Budweiser. Yes, these are all old school parenting. And what it speaks to is that indeed parents were doing the best they could at the time. I love this quote for the book from Steve Solomon's book called My Mother's Italian, My Father's Jewish, and I'm in Therapy. What it's telling us right there is so often our parents show up the only way they know how, as we would do if we were parents, and do the absolute best that we can. It speaks to this quote by the great Maya Angelou, do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. What she's speaking of is what Dr. David Hawkins tells us really is the evolution of consciousness. He says all life reflects the evolution of consciousness, from that of the simple bacteria to the advanced levels of enlightenment of the world's great sages. What he's sharing with us here is to know that this evolution of consciousness is a reflection of our beliefs. That whether we're aware of it or not, what we believe to be as the right way to parent, or our beliefs in regards to how we were parented, all have an impact on us relative to how we live our lives and respond to how we have been parented or how we have chosen to parent. But it's important that we know, as Stephen Covey tells us in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, to sow a thought, we reap an action. To sow an action, you reap a habit. When you sow a habit, you reap a character. When you sow a character, you reap a destiny. That's the magnetic power of belief. And so often in this evolutionary process of parenting, of taking care of those that we love, the thought and the action, the habit and the character, and the destiny that has been manifested may or may not have been conscious. And even if it was conscious, it may have been to the best of their ability. And so today I invite you and I to sow a new thought in regards to the aspect of parenting, whether our parents were great or not, so that we may reap an action, and then sow that action in life so that we may reap a habit, and then sow that habit so that we may reap a character, and then sow that character so that we may reap a destiny, in the context of not just our biological children, but in all children of the world, knowing that what's being called forth today are new beliefs as to what is possible on our planet. Well, what is a belief? A belief is a conviction or a feeling of the truth of a proposition or a condition. Now, belief may go further than an intellectual assent, while faith embodies a trust and confidence. What we're being told here is to have a faith in the consciousness, the beliefs that we hold, so that that which we reap in our lives is a reflection of an evolutionary consciousness. It's important for us to know that we become what we believe, and that every person on the planet shares this energy of belief. And to remember and to affirm that this is perhaps the most powerful and connecting force that we all share in life. It is what in this teaching known as the science of mind we call consciousness, that we're all interconnected by this force of consciousness, of belief. And to remember that belief is the magnet that creates connection. For the bond of belief is a universal force. And as humans, we all seek to believe in ourselves, even our parents. And most seek to believe in something greater than ourselves. What we all want to do is to revel in the glory of the connection between us and the power of the universe. This, Dr. Ernest Holmes says, is the thing itself that is life, that gives life and animates our beliefs into form. And so today I invite you and encourage you to connect to your beliefs, to ask yourself, what is it that you believe about this power, this thing itself that not only is life, but gives life and animates our beliefs into form relative to our connection and interconnection as beings of light on this planet. For we each have choices. We all each are embedded with the ability to choose. You've all heard me use the quote of Gary Zukav: choice is the engine of evolution. If you choose unconsciously, you will evolve unconsciously. If you choose consciously, you will evolve consciously. Zukav goes on to say, conscious is far better than unconscious. Been there, done that. And so today, on this Father's Day, I encourage us all to become more aware of the choices that we are making in regards to parenting good on our planet and the potential for more good and healing. To become clear on the choices that we hold in regards to the way that we were parented, and to remember that we're not our past. I love these 5 cardinal rules for life, which are: number 1, make peace with your past so it won't disturb your present. Number 2, what other people think of you is none of your business. Number 3, time heals almost everything. So give it time. And that no one is in charge of your happiness except you. And don't compare your life to others and don't judge them. You have no idea what their journey is all about. This week, engaging with some friends and talking about things that were transpiring, I realized that I had potentially been idolizing the journey of their life, not realizing that every single person has stuff along the way on their journey. As our beloved Dr. David Walker used to tell us, all God's children got stuff. And this is true too of our parents on their journey of finding their personal self-empowerment through their spiritual awakening. And so today, let's all make a choice. Let's choose to make a choice right now to honor thy father and thy mother. On this Father's Day, let's choose to release what was and to honor thy father and thy mother. Why? Because in choosing to do so, we create a framework of consciousness that releases anything that isn't in alignment with the evolutionary process of not only our consciousness, and in so doing, send out energy that is healing on our planet. Honor is defined as high respect and great esteem. And so today I affirm for you, as I do for me, that we consciously choose to hold high respect and great esteem for our parents. And to know that as we navigate this journey today, our own personal journey of finding our own personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, that we choose happiness along the way. I love this little cartoon regarding happiness because it tells us of the variety of options that we have before us in choosing happiness. It says that happiness and space, the search for happiness, and beginning and creating happiness can be done in virtual spaces. It says up here that Facebook decides what happiness looks like, but you and I know that's not the case. Excuse me. It says happiness studies are also aiming to build something better. That positive psychology is part of the happiness equation. Excuse me. That happiness cannot be bought or sold as an economy of emotions. So as you and I choose today on this journey of becoming more and more happy and holding happiness for all out there, as we remember that we're playing an integral part in the evolution of life because we're all interconnected, let's remember that we got this. We got it. We got the power, we got the presence, and we got the ability to choose wisely. And to remember that our words have power as we navigate this journey. And so we choose to use words that make a difference on our planet in regards to all aspect of life. If you've had the television on at all this week, you see words that are being used over and over and over again that have power, that are not propagating good. So let's you and I choose to not be those people and to remember that yes, we are just a drop in the ocean, but that drop that is you and me is part of the ripple effect of good, should we want it to be. And so let's choose to be the drop and to drop into this water. Love and respect and honor and forgiveness and grace and happiness and peace and joy and beauty and light. And to remember that love is the way no matter what. I love this poem, what I believe encapsulates what I'm encouraging us to remember today. And it's titled Eternal Echoes. Our life is an echo of our spirit today, of our essence as it is, caught between our yesterday and our tomorrow. It is the resounding reality of who we are as a result of where we have been and where we will be for eternity. Written by Maddie J. Stepanek in the year 2000. That our life is an echo of our spirit today. And yes, it's an echo from our Father and our Father's Father. And that we get to choose how we want that to show up and be the manifestation of our consciousness. And so today, let's all affirm together to our dear Father that we extend the energy of love and gratitude and healing light. And so it is. And so it is. And happy Father's Day. So I'd like to bring back Amy Steinberg, who's going to sing a song for us that's going to ground us more in this energy and share her light and her love and her wisdom and her talent. Amy, let's bring you back. There you are.
Keith, that was astounding.
Oh, well, thank you.
That was an amazing, it was one of my favorite talks I've heard in a long time, and I've been binging on CSL for weeks now. So
Well, thank you.
thank you so much. You're
You're
such
so
a
welcome.
wonderful, wonderful teacher. And I love you, and I needed that. So
Yeah. I love you.
I'm feeling good.
Good.
And so I'm going to sing about that. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good because Reverend Keith just told us the truth. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom up in the tree. I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Oh, for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling good. Butterfly in the sky, you know how I feel. Dragonfly out in the sun, butterfly having fun. I know you know, I know you know. Sleep in peace when the day is done. No, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling good. the pine. You know how I feel. Freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for you and me and all this human family. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling so good. I make a choice. I make a choice to honor and respect and forgive and be in the grace. I'm feeling good. Ooh, yeah. I'm feeling good.
Yes, ma'am, you are, and singing good too. I love it.
Thanks.
Quite wonderful. Thank you for that rendition. I love it when you go in, when you create lyrics on the fly and do a little scat at the same time. So quite beautiful. Hey, Amy, I have a question for you. So,
Okay.
if people would like to access your music, where would be the way to do that? To purchase it or listen to it or anything?
I am available on iTunes and Amazon and Spotify and Pandora. Just Google me. I love to be Googled. And also houseofloveandlight.org is my new creation where I'm spinning creativity out in the world. So go check it out.
Great. We'll definitely do that. So thank you so much. Also, the paintings behind you are yours. We talked about that before. Amy's a multi-talented artiste. So avail yourself of those as well, everyone. If you're interested, I'm sure you can reach out to her and find that through all of the methods that she just spoke of. So, Amy, thank you so much for being here. It's so wonderful to see you and love and adore you and brings back so many wonderful memories of all the great times we've had in the past. So, look forward to having you join us again in the not too distant future. So, thank you.
Awesome, awesome community, awesome staff you have here and everybody. Thanks to everybody that helped out with all the technicalities. And Keith, you're such a wonderful gift to all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my love. Thank you. Alrighty, so we'll say goodbye to you now. If you want to come on later and listen to the meditation, that would be great. And if not, then au revoir. We love you. So, till later.
I love you too. I love you, love you, love you so much.
Thank you. All right, everyone. So now is the time in our celebration service on Sunday to be a conscious participant in our conscious giving, which is an opportunity to support our community financially as we thrive during these most unique times and continue to be a catalyst for good on our planet. As a tithing community, as I've shared before, we take 10% of every dollar and dime that comes in and gives that back out into the community in a way that is making a difference in staying conscious and a conscious part of the law of circulation. So I invite you to be a part of that today. Your methods for doing so are going to our website, csl-la.org, and click on donate. That'll take you into PayPal. That'll walk you through the ability to donate. You can go to our app in the App Store, where it's called Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. You'll see up on the upper left bars, the screen will come up and then also a donate tab, as well as you can send a check to our office, our physical office address, which is CSL-LA at 1200 North La Brea Avenue, West Hollywood, California, 90038. Or you can call me. My number's there on the screen, and I can handle it for you privately. And so as we all take a moment and do it in the method that we want to do now, or you can do it at a later date as well. Yaron is going to take us through our song, Love is My Decision. Yaron?
Thank you, Keith. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can
So I affirm for each of us that as we extend the hand to give today, we do so with the belief of knowing that good exists in our world, that it is unlimited by nature. Being one with it, we too are unlimited. And so we give with faith, we give with purpose, we give with a consciousness of propagating good and making a difference. And we trust that the law of life works as it always does. And so that which we give returns to us multiplied abundantly. And for that we say thank you. And so it is. And thank you, Yaron. Thank you. So let me give you an update of what's going on here at the CSL-LA community. I want to give a big shout out to our musicians today, Amy Steinberg and Yaron Spiwak. Thank you again to both of you. A big thank you to Travis Smith, our audio tech gentleman, who we are so blessed to have and who works so diligently to make sure that we provide the highest quality audio services and tech services out there, as well as to Rob Hensley, who is not only our administrative assistant, but also works as a tech assistant doing the same as well. So a big thank you to the four of you for supporting us on this journey. Also a big thank you to all of you for showing up and be a conscious participant as well here. This week we will continue with our coffee clutch on Wednesday at noon. We only had 2 participants this week, so we'd love to have more people there. If not, we will suspend that and regroup as a board. We're having a conversation on Wednesday night and look at some new programming for us as a community. So know that that's where we're headed. Also, as I said, said last week, we're working on a survey to send out to all of you to find out some ways to connect in a greater way until we have the possibility of connecting again sometime in physical form in the future. So also just to let you know to please follow us on all our social media sites, Facebook, we're there, Instagram, we're there. Also, there's a weekly e-newsletter that goes out midweek that has a great article by someone and also what's going on within the week and the month for us. So know that there are many different ways to stay connected and to know that we're all there. And I've heard from several of you of how challenging it is for us to not meet in person, and we understand that and certainly empathize with you on that. And it's very challenging. Feel free to reach out to me or one of our practitioners if you'd like to talk more about that. If you'd like to find the list of our practitioners, it's on our website, csl-la.org, or in the weekly e-newsletter. We're going to close with a meditation, and I'll invite you to not turn your cameras or audio on until after that meditation and we have disconnected from the social media sites that we're on. So just one moment. So I'll take a deep breath in together to the count of 3 through our nostrils. 1, 2, 3. Holding. Exhaling out through the mouth to the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. So we repeat that, inhaling. 1, 2, 3. Holding. And exhaling. As we each individually and collectively go deeper into our psyche and soul. I affirm for us an awakening. a remembrance of this interconnectedness that we share with all life. And we each individually and collectively, from this place of interconnectedness, remember that we remember. That we indeed are one. And so we begin to surround and infuse this oneness with gratitude. Remembering that gratitude is one of the most transformative qualities that exist. And so we begin to go deeper in our subconscious and soul. And bring forth into our vision our Father. Separating from any actions and just see the light of life within this being. And we surround this being with the same light of gratitude. Feeling this transformative energy from deep within, we covenant and commit with ourselves right now to use it in ways to be a conscious participant in the mosaic of humanity and propagating good and making a difference. And so we grow and we give and we take action and we rise up being proud and choosing pride of what we have participated in as a way of life. And so today, here we grow again. As we inhale together, 1, 2, 3, and exhaling 1, 2, 3. Repeating that, inhaling and exhaling. Growing, flowing, and knowing each and every step along the way as spirit. And so it is. Thank you all for being with us today. If you would like to stay on later, if you're on Zoom and say hello to your community, I invite you to do that. We're going to disconnect from social media sites right now and know that you're all celebrated and appreciated and loved and honored. Happy Father's Day to you all. I'll invite you all to turn your cameras on in just a moment once we have disconnected from social media, if you could do that. So goodbye, Facebook, until next time. Alrighty, so for those of you that would like to turn your cameras on, please feel free to do that. And if you can just keep your audio off until I get everybody's cameras on that need help, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, turn